Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come, journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
And welcome to Jackie's Groove, everyone. This is Jackie Bertoni, and again, you have tuned in to Jackie's Groove. We're back for the first segment, and I want to let everybody know that we're powered by the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. Have on the line with me right now an amazing guitarist, vocalist, band leader from Las Vegas, Nevada. Those of you who are not familiar with Mr. Jerry-Lopez, you will be after this interview. And I want everybody to welcome right now, listening in, and say hello to Jerry-Lopez.
How you doing, Jackie?
Hey, brother, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Good morning.
Good morning to you. We're all kind of like dealing with this after NAMM buzz.
Right. NAMM buzz.
4 days of craziness. Everybody sends their love. Carl Parasso, Pepe, I met there also, and we had a really, really good time, for the lack of a better word. But we're paying for it right now.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, man, I want to start out and let everybody know that with Jerry-Lopez and his own vibe that he has in Las Vegas with the showrooms and all the other gigs that he's got, he is the band leader with one of my favorite bands in Las Vegas called Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, which actually finished up residency at the Palms Resort and Casino and a club called The Lounge, and now they've taken up residency at the South Point Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, and a room called the Showroom. What's the difference, Jerry, between the two rooms, other than size?
Well, obviously the production package is a lot larger at the South Point main showroom. The Palms room, actually, originally, when we went in there, was just a small lounge that really wasn't equipped to handle a band our size or to handle what we do.
Right.
And when we went in there, I don't know, it's probably 7-8 years ago, we actually brought in all of the PA and stuff. We augmented everything they had there. We kind of tricked the room out so that it would work for what we wanted to do. And we did that all at our own expense. Just to see how it would roll, and it ended up turning out great. And so the casino actually purchased that gear from the company that we were renting it from at the time. So yeah, the main difference, I suppose, is the production package, and also the fact that the South Point Casino, the management, the entertainment director, and all the folks there, they're really behind marketing and promoting the band as well. Whereas at the Palms, we were kind of flying under the radar, we just show up on Monday nights and do our thing. It's been kind of a underground thing for a long time.
It's amazing for those who haven't had the experience at the lounge. It's amazing how that roof didn't blow off that building from the sound of 15 minimal players, with other people sitting. It can go as high as 16, 17 players on stage. And we will get back to that a little bit later. But I want to start out, Jerry, and talk about your humble beginnings and born in Santa Fe, New Mexico. You want to take it from here and let everybody know that where you started at and where you're going to?
Sure. Well, I was born in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I had an older brother, Gilbert, and when we were really, really young, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, my dad would play the guitar and sing. And actually the way that happened is we had an old black and white television, and it broke down, so my dad went and borrowed a guitar from my uncle. And so that was the entertainment, because they couldn't afford to fix the television set. So him and my dad and my mom would sing, and pretty soon my brother Gilbert started singing with him. He was just a little boy, and I think my dad kind of saw that he had this gift for picking up the melodies and the lyrics, and just singing Spanish songs, traditional Spanish, Mexican songs. And I would sit and I would watch, and pretty soon I asked my dad if I could join in, and I did. So he, taught us how to harmonize and taught us a bunch of songs, and we kind of became local little celebrities, I guess, because we were so young, but we started recording when we were, 6 and 7 years old.
That was my question, yes. When was what age were you?
Yeah, we were about 6 and 7 years old. We started recording with a local mariachi band, and we would tour with them throughout the Southwest and Midwest. And, that's how we got baptized in this thing, And we would play in the local bars with my dad. My dad would take the guitar and we'd sing, and then we'd pass the hat. And that's how we made ends meet.
It's amazing. Now, when did you make your pilgrimage? Actually, I want to step back for a second. One of my favorite songs by Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns is called "When the Curtain Goes Up." Yeah. And the opening line is Santa Fe pulled into Vegas town. You want to finish up what the next line is?
Yeah. Looking for a gig, had our hair grown long. Yeah. Well, we were always kind of kamikaze about the music and the band. In the early '70s, we formed. We'd kind of. Like I tell you, when I was young, we were doing Spanish music, and we did that locally, and then we started listening to jazz music and Stevie Wonder and James Brown and Tower Power, and that kind of changed our focus. So we got one gig in Las Vegas, Nevada, from Santa Fe to play for it was actually like a Mexican gig. And we came and we did this Friday, Saturday night at a local bar here. And there happened to be another club owner who was there that night and asked us if we would be the house band in his bar, working 4 nights a week. So we packed up our stuff from Santa Fe and we just left. We just, we all just...
How big of a band was this, Jerry?
There was about 7 of us.
And do you remember what you were making?
Probably like $60 or $70 a week. That's what I'm thinking.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. And my dad, my brother Gilbert, my brother Lenny, my cousin Agustin, and but it was just all an adventure for us, And so we came to Vegas, and we were working in this little bar called the Scarlet Wagon in North Las Vegas. And we lived in a motel across the street that didn't have air conditioning.
Wow.
And there weren't even bathrooms in the rooms. It was like a community bathroom down the hall. And, Vegas gets to be 120 degrees over here, so it's pretty crazy. But like I say, it was all an adventure. I mean, looking back on it, if I think about that, it was really hard times. But we were together. We were playing music, So for us, we were living the dream, just at a really low level, but living the dream nonetheless. And then what we would do is we would, and this was like 1972, 73. And we would, we were all really actually too young to even be in bars and stuff. We were,
right.
18, 19, 20 years old. And we would sneak onto the Strip. We would drive into Vegas, and we would sneak into the casinos, and we would see bands like, we'd see B.B. King in the lounge at the Hilton,
Very cool.
Big with a full band, and we'd see Wayne Cochran and the C.C. Riders, We'd see, Paul Revere and the Raiders, and we'd see, it was just amazing what was considered a lounge act back in those days. And so we'd go to Caesar's Palace, and in Caesar's there's a lounge there called Cleopatra's Barge.
Yeah, it's still the big old, I almost hit my head on that walking past on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's it. And so, we'd stand on the side there, and there was a Latin group, and it was led by Pupi Campos, and we would And in his band were amazing, Latin icons like Cachao and different people who
amazing bassist.
We didn't even really realize who these guys were, but we would stand on the side there and think to ourselves, my God, if we could only do a gig like this one of these days, right? Well, as it came to pass, you got to be careful what you wish for, because years later we were like doing, 5-6 sets a night on that boat, on that barge, and
which is a shame because now it's been replaced by a DJ.
Yeah, it has. It has. Times have changed, and but I've seen Vegas go through a lot of different changes. I saw at one point the showrooms went to basically all were using tracked music, and there weren't any live musicians.
Right.
This was during an era when there was a big problem with the local musicians union and the casinos, and that got really scary. It put a lot of musicians out of work, and that was in the 80s, and now I've seen it come back. And now
finally,
we've got live musicians. I mean, all but one of the Cirque shows, and there's got to be almost 10 of them in the city, have got live musicians and really high caliber.
Jerry, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. We're gonna wind down this first segment. We're gonna be heading into the second segment. I'm gonna pick up where we left off, talking about the showrooms, musicians, unions, etc. itself. I wanted everybody to know you're tuned into Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni, and we're on the WS Radio Network, the worldwide leader in Internet talk. We'll be right back after this short break.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you have helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians, because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
In the military, things can change in an instant. At Navy Mutual Aid Association, we understand because it's our life too. That's why our dedication to serving the life insurance needs of our military veterans and their families is unrivaled. Navy Mutual offers superior life insurance protection without military service restrictions and limitations. A single focus on providing the peace of mind military families are looking for. That's what we do. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve. Call 800-628-6011 or go to NavyMutual.org.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. Vin Village connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect. Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come, journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Welcome back, everybody. Again, this is Jackie Bertoni. You're tuned in to Jackie's Groove on the mighty WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. I've got on the line here a dear friend of mine from Las Vegas, Jerry-Lopez. Jerry, we left off a little bit ago on the first segment talking about the showrooms, and I wanted to share something with you. Yeah, maybe you can correct me since you were more familiar than that. I remember back in 1980, I was playing with Tower Power. At the time, we were opening up for Santana over at the Aladdin Theater Performing Arts. And I remember we, on my break before Santana went on, I ran across the street, literally from the Aladdin over to Caesars. And a dear friend of mine who we lost about 5 years ago, Tom Brody, a percussionist from Nashville, he was playing with this unknown guy, and I say this with tongue-in-cheek, Paul Anka. And I had this dream. I always wanted to be on a Vegas showroom stage with percussion on top, drums in front of me, and actually David Garibaldi was actually on the drum throne at that time. And then the left were strings, the right were horns, and of course that was all based upon them not going on yet. But the point I'm making, which is really cool, is that after I got the chance to live my dream on the Vegas showroom, we happened to run out of the backstage. And I'm thinking, for whatever reason, that backstage door came out where the Cleopatra's barge was. I'm not too sure if I remember that correctly, but I remember running out and seeing David Crosby walking across the showroom, and I ran up to him and I said, "Hey, David," and he put his hands up and he said, "No autographs." And that was kind of like, it blew me out of the water. And I said, "Don't worry, I'm not signing any at this point." And I was kind of taken aback. And then Tom told him who I was. Then of course he wanted to be friends. And I didn't want to deal with it, so I ran across back to the Theater of Performing Arts. So, I mean, you're in the industry, and the point I'm making, the situation is there are egos that do run amok in Las Vegas, and there are good people, and there are crazy musicians out there. Any experiences that you want to share with that were unfavorable?
Unfavorable experiences. Oh my God. Well, Jackie, like you said, people are people, and I think that I tell people all the time they ask about the business and they ask about my career and different things, and I tell them, there are a lot of components in creating a career in the music business, and right. Talent is just one of them, and I think that one of the other components is a fearlessness and like I was saying earlier, a kamikaze attitude. There are a lot of extremely talented people I know that early on decided they were going to do something else, like maybe become a lawyer, or a doctor or an engineer or something. And they're every bit as talented as a lot of the people that are my heroes. The point I'm making here is that with most of us that are lifers in this thing, we learn to walk through any of the negativity, and in my case, I can use negativity as well as positive reinforcement as logs to throw on my fire. I can be just as motivated by negativity as I can by positivity.
Absolutely.
If that makes any sense. I remember one time when I was a young man, our band was opening up for another band, and this band was like a world-class band, and we were just in awe that we would even be on the stage with them. And I was, 17 years old, and there was an after party after the thing, and I walked up to the lead guitar player, and he had a girl under each arm, you know, and he was living the rock star dream. And
Right.
I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, man," I said, "I just love the way you play, and would you show me how you do this one thing that you know that you do, right?" And he looked at me and he says, "I'm not going to show you anything. Get the hell away from me," you know.
Really?
And yeah, it was my first encounter with anything that was that, you know. And I went home and I practiced till my fingers bled that night.
Right.
You know, and it's funny, and maybe this sounds awful, but whenever times were tough, I would actually bring that guy back into my mind, and it would make me work harder.
Oh, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah, of course. When people tell you you can't do something, it makes me drive to prove the fact that I can.
Yeah, and that's so. Like I say, you know, and I think that's people. That's just, and it's probably the same in any business, you know, in all walks of life. And there are egos, you know, in medicine and in you know, and in law and in business and finance, the same way there are in the music business. And the one thing that that still holds true for me, though, is that those people that have maintained a high level of artistry, people who've been through it and are you know, the James Taylors and the, you know what I'm saying, the Stevie Wonders and on and on and on. People at that level, all of them that I have had the, you know, honor of meeting or spending any time with, are always down to earth, no bullshit, sincere, honest, and, you know, giving people. You know, there below that there's a strata of God, I even hate to say it, but there is a level of mediocrity, you know, where there's a lot of the BSers and that they exist in, and unfortunately, a lot of them give the business a bad name sometimes, you know. But,
but this is a very small business also that we live in, too. So when people are out there, you know, spewing their bullshit about who they are, who they want to be, and who they say they've been with, you can call them on the carpet on that, because it's a small enough business to know this. You know, and talking about, you know, one of my favorite songs, When the Curtain Goes Up, I love one of the lines that said, when you guys walked in, and I think one of the union players had said, "You guys even own a tuxedo?" that you know, and I relate to that as a musician, because, you know, we've all had those casualty gigs, or casuals, if you will, and people, you know, snubbing their nose at the situation. These new cats in town that don't fit the norm of the Vegas union player or Vegas musicians with that look. Do you feel that you were part of that change at all, or the more casual situation, or is it still the nose up in the air with the union guys?
Well, what happened is, you know, when we came to Vegas, like I said, and we would sneak on the strip and everything, and we finally got a gig in a little nightclub that wasn't so far into North Vegas that, you know, that other people would venture in, right?
Right.
And so we started building a reputation with the musicians, and the first ones that found us were the other minorities, you know, the Checkmates and the Imperials, and you know, the Sweet Inspirations, you know, which were Elvis's backup singers and band, and they would all come and see us late night, because we were a late night band.
Right.
We'd start at, you know, midnight, and so then we got an opportunity to play in a main casino, in a lounge, of course. But you know, and when I wrote that song, When the Curtain Goes Up, it was about that experience, because when we got there to this casino, right, our first casino gig, we encountered, you know, other musicians and the bands that were going to be playing during the night, you know, and, you know, we were going to set our equipment up here, and they were like, "No, you're not, you know, and you're not going to do this, and you're not going to do that." And my brothers and I, we were kind of rough around the edges, you know, and we grew up in the barrio, and my brothers wanted to settle this, you know, in old school.
Throwing chingazos, right? Throwing chingazos.
And I told them, no. I said, "Listen, we're gonna earn our place here. You know, so let's just deal with all of this, and, you know, when the curtain goes up, bullshit stops, you know."
Absolutely.
And so yeah, we were, you know, because like I say, we we were kind of rough around the edges. You know, we weren't. A lot of the bands that were already here and working in lounges were really polished, and they were wearing the polyester jumpsuits with the ruffled shirts and the, you know,
with the zipper from the crotch up to the neck, right?
Yeah, I mean, and hey, listen, that was a time, and it was their thing and everything, but they underestimated the new kids in town, and that's I never do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I never do, man. I give everyone, you know, the benefit of the doubt and as much respect as I can give them, and you know, when you hit the stage, then that's when you do your talking, you know.
You know, and I'm going to tell you, the first time you and I actually met and face-to-face and talked, I got to tell you, I was a little bit intimidated just from everybody. Actually, I met you through my dear friend, Caro Parasso. We met you guys the last night that you played at the Tropicana showroom before they went for their renovation.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you had everybody there. You had Rocco Prestia and you had Freddie Ravel. These are all my boys. And I had never heard of Santa Fe and the Fat City Horn. Shame on me. And I got to tell you, the 2.5-hour show wasn't long enough. And we're going to pick up the next segment, though, because, Jerry, I got some of your music I'm going to cue up here. And we're going to talk about that on segment number 3 and kind of give everybody out there that's not familiar with your vibe what your vibe's all about and how hard you guys hit. And we'll be right back after this short break, a pause for the cause to pay for some bills. This is Jackie Bertoni. You're tuned into Jackie's Groove on the Mighty WS Radio Network, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
This is Bill Gruber with BizVid Communications, a Southern California video production leader. We've been honored to sponsor, produce, write, and host many of the fine programs on WS Radio over the years. So we understand how important the internet and your website exposure are. As video producers, we know the tricks and secrets to incorporate video to increase your search engine optimization and business success. Visit bizvidcommunications.com to see what we can do for you. BIZVID Communications.com.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come, journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertone.
I want to tell you where we left off. When I met you for the first time and watching all of my brothers on stage, new brothers and old brothers, just ripping it apart like crazy, I couldn't wait to find out where you guys were going to be back next. And my wife and I, we always frequent Vegas like once every other month just to get away and breathe and to go eat and to go see the shows. But we made it a tradition to go on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Obviously, the rates are much less, but Sunday we would get ourselves ready to go, and then Monday we'd spend the whole day long having fun, eating, and then getting back to the room, getting dressed, and then going back to the Palms, to this little small place called the Lounge, to get into this band called Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, the best $10 that money could buy. Hour and a half show, just filled with originals, covers. Again, too, just not long enough for that kind of energy, an hour and a half. And with that said, you know, Jerry, with all of your experience as a band leader, one thing I loved about going to the show itself is to watch all the players on stage, 15 players. They all have iPads. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't figure out what that was, but I didn't realize that later on from everybody telling me that it's your set list per se. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, we got early on. The guys got into using iPads actually for their charts. So they use different programs, and a lot of musicians are doing that now. I was doing it before iPads. I used to use a convertible laptop kind of thing, and
right.
But let's see. Some of the guys use it for lyrics. Some of the guys use it for charts. I started using it years ago. I was working with Wayne Brady, and in one of the showrooms here,
right.
And he moved so quickly. It was an improvised show, and the music would be. We never knew what was going to happen, so I had to have like tons and tons of music at my fingertips immediately. And so that's how I started using them, and then now everybody's doing that. We actually have a road case that carries and charges the iPads, and it's like a whole deal.
Oh, I just love the organization itself. And Jerry, let me ask you this question: do you, in your career, your musical career, do you prefer being a front man? Do you prefer being a vocalist, a guitarist? Do you prefer being a band leader? Do you prefer being a side man? What is or is all that together? Is everything that you love?
Yeah, you know what? I'm a really good side man. And I say that because I've been a band leader all my life, so I kind of know what a good side man is, and
right.
and the bottom line is, I'm just kind of a solutions guy. Everybody's got problems, but what people need are solutions, and so I'm that guy. I ended up being a band leader and a guitar player and all of those things kind of out of necessity. I've been singing since I'm a kid, so I guess I'm a singer first, but I get gigs as a guitar player, and I don't consider myself a great guitar player, and there's, 100 better guitar players in the city, probably more. I do what I do as good as I can do it, and I guess it's like the thing is, I tell people all the time, someone will go, I can't sing, I don't have a good voice, and I tell them, you've got your voice, and
right.
and you will focus on being you, whatever that is, and what all of us musicians strive for, or at least I have, is to have a thumbprint, is to have something, a specific sound that if you heard, 2 bars of it, you'd go, that's that's this guy, that's that guy. And I think we can probably say that about our favorite musicians. You can just, and so I think I've kind of defined my own, and by not trying to overstep the boundaries technically or of what I can do, I just try to do whatever it is I do as good as I can do it and be a part of the puzzle.
Yeah, but it's your vibe on stage, man. I mean, even though it's your name on the moniker, followed by Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, you share that stage like each and every one of those brothers are up there. Are you and Jamie, and you and Dave, and and all the singers, Tyreek and Lenny.
Yeah, the way
go
that
ahead.
works. The way that works is, people have told me that, man, you're really generous with the spotlight, and you're. And here's the thing. The way I look at it is, if I have a candle and I light your candle, it doesn't diminish the light on my candle. It just makes the room brighter.
Dig it.
So my gig is I just light candles. You know what I'm saying? And also, I just surround myself with really talented people, and they make the whole thing shine. I'm not a virtuoso, in anything that I do. I'm a facilitator. And so, like I say, I do my part, my little part of the puzzle, and I light the candles, and we make the room as bright as we can make it.
Now, do you have favorites? Are you more of a Tejano player? Are you more of a cumbia, salsa, merengue, funk player? What is your choice? If you had to choose one of those genres of music, what would you choose to play the rest of your life?
Yeah, wow.
Tough question.
Yeah, well, I think funk music is the thing that warms my heart,
Right.
But I grew up playing, all kinds of boleros and cumbias and, all kinds of Spanish music and like in my car it's a real eclectic mix of music, and I'm listening to all kinds of things. But that's the one thing about growing up in Santa Fe is that there's this rich mixture of cultures there. And to play in a band in Santa Fe, New Mexico, you had to play a Hank Williams country song, a James Brown song, and then Vicente Fernandez, Volver, Volver,
Absolutely.
So we all grew up, playing all kinds of music, and which helped me later on in especially like during what they called the Latin explosion, right? I toured with Ricky Martin. I was the guitar player in the Livin' La Vida Loca.
Exactly.
And
you
that
to the
was
punch.
That was all about the ability to be able to cross over between pop, rock, and Latin music and sing in both languages fluently. And,
didn't you have blonde hair back then too, Jerry?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting thing. I showed up for the audition in Miami, and so they said, "Yeah, you got the gig." So we open in 4 days or something. It was something crazy, and it was a huge show. And so I was like, "Okay, look, I'm going to lock myself up in the hotel room, get me all the material, and keep sending up pots of coffee. That's it, right?"
Absolutely.
So one of those late nights, it's like midnight, and I get a call from the manager, and he says, "Jerry, we're going to send our hairdresser up. We just kind of like to have everybody have a certain cutting edge kind of look thing, and so do you mind if I said, no, I really don't. I don't really care. I was focused on the music. I really wasn't concerned about the rest of the stuff, right? And I had no idea what the rest of the stuff was, but so this hairdresser shows up, and she cut my hair to about, like an inch and a half long, and dyed it white. And it was just the freakiest thing for me. I'd get up in the middle of the night to pee and scare myself in the mirror,
Now, were you backing vocals on that? Were you playing lead guitar, rhythm guitar? What was your position in the band?
My position in the band was guitar one and background vocals. But the the guitar player that was already there, David Cabrera, was really the lead guitarist in the show. He's he's Ricky's musical director now.
Right.
And in fact, he's the musical director on the new television show that they've got together, some sort of a singing contest thing. But he's a phenomenal guitar player. But what happened is that I came in to replace a guy who had previously been, who had started the tour, Arnaldo. And so he, this guy, the main thing, the criteria was to be able to sing in a specific range.
Right.
And so, to be able to sing B flats and, Bs and even touch on Cs consistently and sing in Spanish. So, that was the deal. And so they tricked out my hair, and it was funny because a couple days before the show, they were like, okay, we're going to go down to the stadium and go over the choreography. And I was like, choreography?
Surprise.
Wait a minute, And,
Jerry, I'm going to stop you one more time here, brother. We got to take a pause for the cause. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to throw it back on the fourth segment of the first hour of this show. We're going to get back, and I want everybody to get a chance to sit back, put a seatbelt on, because I'm going to play a little bit of something from Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns. This is Jackie Bertoni. You're tuned into Jackie's Groove on the WS Radio Networks. Stay tuned.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The WorldLink program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Which sandwich is healthy and tasty? Which sandwich can come on bread or in a bowl? Which sandwich comes 51 different ways, so it's always your way? A which sandwich. Stop into our shop in Hazard Center. We're upstairs from the Hazard Center Digiplex. Bring in your movie ticket. We will add a free drink and chips to your sandwich order. Or order online at which.com, and we will have it ready and waiting. WHICH, which.com.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come, journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Welcome back to Jackie's Groove. You're tuned in to WS Radio Networks, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. Again, we were having a little bit of a technical difficulty in queuing up some music here, and we'll get to the bottom line of what's happening. When we left off, we were talking to Jerry Lopez when he was with Ricky Martin on the Living La Vida local tour. I wanted to find out from Jerry, you went from your humble beginnings in the showrooms in Las Vegas and thrust into the main stages. Was it difficult for you to get that vibe in front of these massive crowds in arenas and stadiums?
It was a shock. I mean, the first thing I have to say is that when I got there to Miami to do the rehearsals, and the first thing I recognized was that these musicians. Well, first of all, I really never listened to any of Ricky's music. And when I got there, they laid all this music on me, and he had done a couple of albums that, he'd gotten Grammys for. One of them, I think, is Vuelve. And I mean, the music is outstanding. I mean, outstanding. And the thing I saw first was that these musicians were all of them were producers, arrangers. They were all overqualified for this gig in a big way, but I soon realized why, and that was because of all of the stuff that was going on that stage during the show. I mean, there were times when, I was coming down a fire pole, holding a guitar onto a moving walkway, playing a guitar solo with spotlights in my eyes, or going down where I was being dropped down the stage, and I'd be down under the stage playing and singing while dressers were undressing me and dressing me at the same time.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what, that's why you have to be this level of musician to do this, because the music has got to be able to come, like you're breathing while you're trying not to get killed on a stage of this size with all this stuff going on. But the other thing that was really that stood out for me is the very first show we've been rehearsing. We're using in-ear monitoring systems,
right?
And the only thing, there were absolutely no tracks whatsoever during that show. It was a completely live show, but we had a click track that we would play to. And the click track was the glue that kept us all together, because we were, way in completely different places from each other. There would be no way, the latency from where the drum position was to where the keyboard positions were, et cetera, would have been crazy to keep tight. anyway, I'll never forget the opening show. The roar of the audience was so loud that it completely drowned out my in-ear monitor mix.
Wow.
And the opening, song, I had to play that opening line on, Living La Vida Loca, the kind of a surf thing at the top of and I just completely lost the click, it was scary, actually, but we played, huge audiences. I mean, we played up to, 75,000 people in Korea, 50,000 in El Paso, but there were huge stadiums. It was probably the biggest tour in the world at the time.
How long were you with Ricky?
Almost 2 years, I guess, something like that. And then right at the end of that Living La Vida Loca tour, I had heard that Ricky's management company was teaming up with Mandalay Bay Resorts here in Las Vegas to produce a Latin pop show, right? And so they approached me about being the musical director for that show. And so I came right off that tour and started and put together a band, which a lot of those guys are now Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns.
Share the names, Jerry.
The name of that show was Storm, and so now the guys. The beautiful thing about that was that I was able to assemble these guys on their dime. So I got Danny Falcone on lead trumpet, and I lured him away from the Tom Jones band.
Right.
And I got Nathan Tenoy, who's now a professor at UNLV, and he teaches, jazz improvisation and arranging there on trombone. And I was able to I auditioned Jamie Hosmer, who's one of my best friends. He's a partner with me in our writing business. And, Pepe Jimenez, the drummer, he came from Puerto Rico to audition for the gig, for the Storm gig. And we hired him. And, Pepe's stayed, he did the Storm show, and then he stayed in the same theater, and he did Mamma Mia, and then he did Lion. And, most recently with Carlos Santana's band.
I wanted to jump in here real quick, too. When you mentioned the word on You Always Stay on a Stage, you always introduce Jamie as your partner in crime. Mm-hmm. You want to expand on that itself?
Well, Jamie and I, early on, I saw that this was he was kind of a kindred spirit. He was kind of the yin to my yang sort of kind of thing. Whereas I'm real impulsive and maybe a little too kamikaze sometimes. He's the voice of reason. He's also very creative, a really good songwriter, and a really good singer. And so he co-produced my solo CD, which is the Negrita CD. And during that whole process, I got to really see how deep he was, and also see that he's also a solution guy. He doesn't dwell in the problems or the whatever. He's about, let's get this done and get it fixed and make it work, right? And so back then, we started work doing writing music for infomercials, which to this day is probably our main. Our bread and butter and our main gig. And so we've been writing music together and working in the studios together for the last, 10 years.
Amazing. And, his voice is like an angel. In fact, everybody that has lent their voice to Santa Fe is amazing. And I'll get back and talk more about that, my favorite singers in the band, which is going to include you, of course, Jerry. Mm-hmm. And we're going to take a short break. Once again, we're going to get back to this amazing interview with Jerry Lopez from Las Vegas, Nevada, and Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns on Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni. We'll be right back after this short pause for the cause.
Are Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Progressive Medical.
Hey, this is Heidi Rue, and you know, Progressive Medical Center has literally changed my life and my health, but I'm not the only one. Adele suffered from bone deterioration, bone overgrowth, profound muscle discomfort, physical exhaustion, and mental fog. In fact, the bone deterioration becomes so serious that she had to have back surgery. Well, after the surgery, she still didn't feel well, and so that's when she heard about Progressive Medical Center. Progressive Medical Center discovered that her adrenals weren't working properly, her hormones were out of whack, and the drugs she had been taking were doing more harm than good. Adele came into Progressive Medical Center in a walker, physically and mentally exhausted. But now she's a world traveler. She hikes and walks several miles a day, and it's all thanks to Progressive Medical Center. 770-676-6000. 770-676-6000.
Progressive Medical. This is your life. Live it well.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come, journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Quisiera ser tu todo, quisiera ser tu siempre, quisiera ser tu mundo, quisiera ser perenne, sin más razón, te alejas de mi vida y el dolor me abraza. Sabes bien, tu presencia viste mi alma de felicidad, pero si te vas, mi sol no emanará, pero si te vas, la nada quedará. Y si tú te vas, me burlará el destino, aborrecería el vacío. Entre mentir y verdad.
That is the beautiful voice of my guest on Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni, and we are talking to the amazingly wonderful, talented, coffee-loving guitarist, vocalist, composer, arranger, producer, Mr. Jerry Lopez.
Glad to be here, Jackie. Having a good time.
Now, say to us, for the layman's in English.
Yeah, it means if you go.
I mean, if you're not in love before hearing that song, I got to tell you, when you hear that song live, just the vibe in the audience is just ridiculous. It's sexiness, for the lack of a better word. It's amazing, And talking about sexy, let's talk about the vibe at the showroom at South Coast. How many people does that hold as opposed to the 180 people at the lounge?
Yeah, the South Point main showroom probably holds about 500 people. Yeah. So
I mean, $5 to get in to this vibe is it's almost unheard of. I can't believe that it's that inexpensive. What in Vegas can you get for $5? Not even a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? I think it's just a way of counting the heads, the $5.
Right.
I think the casino's really interested in people come in, they drink, they gamble. You know what I'm saying? It's not a corporate chain that owns the South Point.
Right.
So they've got old school, kind of a paradigm in that casino, which I really appreciate.
Would you call this a residency? Yeah. Is this a true residency there?
Yeah, it is. We've got an open contract, and it's we're every Monday night, and it's great. The sound crew, the light crew, everybody there at the casino, they're awesome. And it's just it sounds great. I mean, just really do. Well, you've probably heard Tower there. I'm not sure if
I've never been there. Period. This will be our first outing.
Yeah, it's a pretty kicking venue. So yeah, it's good. It's perfect for us.
Again, to the listeners out there itself, when you're in Vegas, or if you don't plenty, make this a reason to go there. I can't express the love and joy that I have for Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns. I mean, they touch on everything. They do an Earth, Wind, Fire medley. They'll do songs that you haven't heard for a while, songs that definitely put a smile on your face. Again, every musician gets a chance to shine on their instruments itself. Everybody's brought forward. One of my dear friends who I love like a brother, your percussionist, Gabriel Falcon, who I've known for years back in the Duarte El Monte days, and we have mutual friends at the time. How is he doing? How is he feeling? Is he he's back rocking again as he's always have been?
Yeah, no, he's doing great, doing fantastic.
It's so funny when you relate Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, when you're talking about a lot of the musicians in the band are playing, oddly enough, with Donnie Marie, still considered one of the best shows on the Strip. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, I agree with that 100%. I've seen him 3 times. In fact, I used to work with Donnie back in 1991 on the Eyes Don't Lie tour. So there's Gabe and I seem to have crossed the same situation of the great Filipino singer Martin Ibarra. Gabe has already filled that show also. And it's a true joy, for the lack of a better word. Jerry, share with the people that are listening in itself where they can find Jerry Lopez, Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns. Where can they dial in? Websites, etc.
Yeah, well, our website is www.santafeband.com, and there are a lot of links there. You can also, I'm pretty sure we've got a YouTube page,
right?
And on Facebook and all the social networking. I'm not the guy that handles that stuff. One of our guys, our tenor player Rob Mader, who runs the IT stuff at the university here at UNLV. He's the guy that handles that stuff. But you can it's easy to find us anywhere on the internet. And
And for those out in Facebook land, if you haven't got Rob Mader as a friend him. He's got the most amazingly funny posts that you'll ever read on a daily basis. They make absolutely no sense, but they make all the sense in the world. That makes sense.
Yeah,
but,
he's got a great sense of humor, doesn't he, Rob?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and let's go back here with the guests that come in, show up, and who grace the stage itself. Has there been a favorite that you actually sat there and just smiled like crazy after they walked off the stage?
Oh, my God. So many. Ole Barud, who came in from Norway, right. And, every time Bill Champlin sits in with us, it's just it's a throwdown, and...
in fact, his son actually sat in with you guys, a few years ago, where Bill and his wife actually can see them actually poking their heads out right behind Gabe. Yeah, I saw that, of course.
Yeah, there's a DVD that we did with the Champlin family that's available through Strokeland.
Doc Kupka's record music company.
Yeah, that's Doc's. Doc's company, and I think that's Strokeland.com. I think
StrokelandRecords.com. Actually, I was just on that too long ago.
Yeah, www.strokeland.com, and where you can find us under the Strokeland family tab, and they carry the DVDs that we did with Ole Barud and with the Champlin family, and our live DVDs and all our CDs. You can get our stuff also on CD Baby. You can get our stuff through iTunes or any of the digital download places.
Will you carry over the Santa Fe Superstore at the South Point Hotel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've got all that stuff. If you come to our shows, we've got all the CDs and DVDs. We've got T-shirts, free posters, all the stuff people can take home.
You know what I love? Your current recording called The Answer. Mm-hmm. An amazing, we'll play a song from that on the next segment itself. Okay. What motivates you once you're in that studio? What is the process that gets you in there? And what drives you through your crazy schedule to actually put an album out? And how long did it take you to write, record, and to release that album?
Right. That one took a long time. That one took years. And only because our schedules are so crazy, all of us. And, right. It's a miracle that we can actually get together on a Monday, It really is. But here's the way it goes down. Like, several of us are always writing. Jamie, myself, Dave Richardson, Nathan Tenoy. And but when we decide, okay, it's time, and we're real close to that right now to start a new one, we'll all start focusing our energies on what we think might fit the band, And as you know, our repertoire is kind of varied. So some of our original stuff lends itself more towards rock. Some of it is throwdown funk, Some of it is Latin flavored, and all of it's got a jazz undertone to it. But so the process is that we'll all start creating our own, demos at home and sending them back and forth to each other and trying to figure out what would work. In my case, I'm always singing into my phone, sending myself messages with these little pieces of songs,
right.
And hook ideas or groove ideas. And I've got a little studio at home, and I'll sit and I'll create the whole song from scratch, minus the horn chart. But what I do is I leave room in the arrangement, knowing that one of our guys, Dave Richardson or Nathan Tenoy, will drop in, horn magic, cool. Kind of like what I did with the song "Pack It Up," on the last CD,
right?
Or what I did on this new CD with Greasy or The Plan Man or Close Enough to Taste.
Let's get back to that when we take this next break. We're going to be coming up on segment number 7, then one after that, and this 2-hour show will be in the can, as they say. Going to take a small break for we're going to take some time out right now. I'm trying not to sneeze on the air. Once again, you're tuned into Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni on the WS Radio Network, the worldwide leader in Internet Talk Radio. Stay tuned.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
This is Bill Gruber with BizVid Communications, a Southern California video production leader. We've been honored to sponsor, produce, write, and host many of the fine programs on WS Radio over the years. So we understand how important the internet and your website exposure are. As video producers, we know the tricks and secrets to incorporate video to increase your search engine optimization and business success. Visit bizvidcommunications.com to see what we can do for you. BIZVID communications.com.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come, journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
I know you've been waiting so long for life to take a turn, love to return. Oh, you never known that I could be the one for you. You'll never be lonely again, so please don't be afraid to let love get your way. Oh, you never thought that you'd step into this life with me. Just open to me and we'll see what forever brings to life and each other.
exactly what that song title is, Come With Me. And that's the whole premise of Jackie's Groove. And I'm Jackie Bertoni, your host. I put this talk show together to bring the listeners behind the velvet rope, backstage. Not stories that you can hear about or read about, I should say, in magazines. Actually, stories from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And speaking of the horse's mouth, and a beautiful one that is, Mr. Jerry Lopez is on the line with me right now. And Jerry, I want to talk. We've got this this next segment. We talked about your humble beginnings, where you're going, your transition, your trajectory. Where do you see yourself heading? Where do you want to go from here, even though you seem to have accomplished most everything on your bucket list, or have you?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I really have. I mean, I've accomplished way more than I ever expected that I ever would in my life. And here's the deal. I want to play good music with good friends. I want to have some laughs. I want to, not have to worry about, how the bills are getting paid. Right. I think that's I've never been someone who had aspirations to be a star. That has never, ever been something I wanted to do. And, it's interesting. I tell people, I've seen and I've worked with stars, and people think that they want to do that, but if they saw the amount of work and the amount of stuff that they go through to actually do that and be that, they run. Anyway, so, yeah, you know what, as far as where I see myself going, I take all of this one day at a time. I mean, I plan, and I've got a big calendar on my wall, and I've got this date, and I've got that date, and I've got these different things that I do. But the reality is that I try to keep my focus on today. And I'm a list maker, right? I sit and I've got lists in front of me right now of the things I've got to do today. And so, I just try to focus on making the best music I can make, being the best Jerry I can be today, and, bring as much healing to people as I can. And that's really, anything else that comes. I'll give you an example. One of the things that I do is I do a large benefit back in my hometown. I started doing this 3 years ago, and it's for the National Latino Behavioral Health Association. It's a mouthful, but I go back and I raise scholarship money for kids. And
beautiful.
This last year in 2015, we were able to help 11 kids go on to continued education, and 7 the year before, and so it's grown, and it's become one of the main focuses in my life right now.
Paying it forward.
So, yeah, I mean, I've been really, really, really blessed, and I was blessed, that God gave me this gift, and B, with a father who knew how to take that gift and mold it into something that I could earn a living with the rest of my life. And it was basically sort of the like a life raft out of where I could have ended up coming from. Absolutely. Where I was. And so the fact
give thanks, brother. Give thanks.
Yeah, I do. And so the fact that I've got an opportunity to help do that, so those are the things, those are the things in my future if I can help.
Jerry, I want you to say hi to my partner in crime, Florentino Buenaventura. He's on the line right now. Florentino, Jerry Florentino.
Jerry, hello. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, Florentino. Nice to meet you.
We're here in the engine room, just shoveling coal, making sure you guys sound as amazing as you all are, and just this show is just so exciting. We're going to go to your show on Monday. Am I giving something away, Jackie? But
no, you're not at all.
Okay, yeah,
excellent.
We're going to your show on Monday, and I'm just hearing the tracks and everything. I'm exceptionally looking forward to it, so it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, well, I look forward to meeting you in person, and it's always a great time. I plan a set list, but depending on who shows up and what happens, it can vary.
We love pandemonium over here. Trust me, that's our middle name. So that'd be great. Yeah. Changing it up and switching it up, and just it's always a pleasure with Jackie's friends. They are the consummate people that we look up to in this business, because you've got the talent, you've got the creativity, you've got the vision, and you've also got the character, which is all part of Jackie's Groove. That's why Jackie's a radio show host with us, because he just has that to offer the rest of the world. And the pay it forward and pay it backwards is always, is really what we're all about.
Yeah.
Bottom line, man.
100%.
We're just a bunch of hired grunts looking for our next gig. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, and I've got some advice for the working musicians out there.
Sure.
The best time to look for a gig is when you've got a gig, okay?
Amen.
Absolutely. It's so funny when you say that, Jerry. Not too long ago, I was at a local club, and this manager walked up to me, and she said, she is sneak a cheek, Jackie, so I moved over, and she said, you know what? And she used the quotation with her fingers and said, I knew you were a musician, but I had no idea that you were a musician. And I put my fingers up, and I quote, and I said, thank you, with a question mark. And I said, I don't understand what that means. She goes, no, it's just that, I was on your Facebook page, I was on your website, and I had no idea that you played, with all these stars, et cetera, and how you stay so humble. I said, my friend, let me explain one important factor. I'm 55 years old. I've been through this horse and pony show before, as I said. But the bottom line is the people that I work with, they're the stars. They're the ones that you turn the radio on and you hear them itself. And I learned long ago, if they don't have an attitude, why in God's name would I have an attitude? Again, just using that term that I'm a hired grunt. I mean, there are some people in this industry itself that thinks that their rear end doesn't stink, and those are the people that we stay away from. Those are the people that are living in their own little convoluted world, and I don't want anything to do with that. So when you're around people, guys like us that have that longevity, or the yoke cats as we call them out here in Las Vegas or Los Angeles, we don't take for granted, and we stay blessed, and we're thankful every day that we get up there. And I can't speak for you, Jerry, but there's times when I walk on stage and I'm working with these heavy duties. I played with Tower of Power 4 months ago at Thornton Winery, and they had Average White Band opening up for them. And I got to tell you, Temecula in the wine country had an overdose of funk that night, F-U-N-K, that they're still trying to overcome and still trying to survive. And that's that whole thing with Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns itself. You're not just locked into that funk groove, but the groove is so deep that you have to get a ladder to get out of that club when when it's done. And I can't stress enough, you guys, to go out there and support local music. Enjoy these working cats that are absolutely ridiculous. And Jerry, do you have anything coming up in the way of special guests that are going to be sitting in with you anytime in the near future?
No, we don't have anything scheduled right at this moment. Nothing that that I can really talk about yet. We haven't firmed up some things, but every Monday night, like I say, you just never know what's going to happen.
I've been speaking to your beautiful wife. Her and I, we share our little smiling faces on Facebook, and I finally told, and am I saying the right? Is it Sari or Sorry?
Sari, yeah.
I told her, I said, she didn't know my wife and I were coming out, and so she said, Jackie, I would love to finally meet you, but she's been so busy with her business. Mm-hmm. And she says, and then of course I have a kindred spirit with your daughter, Spencer, who another person. She's got a spirit and a sense of humor that needs to be investigated. It's just, she's a kick to say the least itself. And you know what? I'm looking at the clock right now, Jerry. We're going on to our final segment. And I want to touch when we get back in the end about what you're feeling about the music businesses, how it, is it on life support? Is it moving forward? Yeah. I want to talk about your gear. I want to talk about your instruments of choice.
Okay.
And then I want you to talk to the listeners itself, the young cats that want to follow in the footsteps of their idols and what to do and what not to do. And we'll get back and we'll touch on that momentarily itself. Once again, you're tuned in to Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni. And we want to throw some shout-outs to our friends at Pitbull Audio at www.pitbullaudio.com, where they want you to play it live, and Studio Instrument Rentals, which we've all used at sir-usa.com. We'll be right back after the short messages, and we'll pick up the last and final segment of the second hour of Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni. We'll be right back.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Which sandwich is healthy and tasty? Which sandwich can come on bread or in a bowl? Which sandwich comes 51 different ways, so it's always your way? A which sandwich. Stop into our shop in Hazard Center. We're upstairs from the Hazard Center Digiplex. Bring in your movie ticket. We will add a free drink and chips to your sandwich order. Or order online at which.com, and we will have it ready and waiting. WHICH. Which.com.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come, journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
question is, who's the funkiest band in Las Vegas? The answer is Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, headed up by my guest, Jerry Lopez. And Jerry, brother, I want to thank you very much, man. This is the third show that we've aired on Jackie's Groove, and I felt the need to use my background, my notoriety, to bring my good friends in and have them share. And, you know, and the bottom line, it's free promotion. It's getting that name out in the forefront. And, you know, every time I see Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, when I come home, I go on Facebook or even when I'm in Vegas, and I put up the little meme of the gentleman, the Dos Equis iconic gray-haired man. And I went ahead and put my own words on it, and I put down there, I don't always listen to my music, blazing loud, Earth, Wind & Fire, Tower of Power, Santana, Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, but when I do, so do my neighbors. And I can't push the fact of how much this band has meant to me, and kind of makes me escape from, you know, the troubles of everyday life. And Jerry, I thank you. You know, and again, too, you're in good company, because coming up on Jackie's Groove, I'm pleased to say I've got members of Tower of Power, I've got members of Santana, I've got members of Chicago, and also at the first part of May, we've got my good friends of mine, Leland Sklar and Steve Lukather and Lenny Castro of Toto, who are on the road right now on their first leg of their tour. So, you know, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, brother, that you would share your stories with us, you know, and hopefully motivate and inspire for those that you were inspired by and those that want to be inspired by you. And so with that said, let's talk about the benefits of having a name in the industry itself. Let's talk about endorsements. Let's talk about who takes care of Jerry Lopez and your favorite gear. So why don't you go ahead and expound on that itself? Who are you endorsed by and why?
Well, I'm real old school, and I mean, I've you know, I play all kinds of different guitars, so I don't take a guitar sponsorship, because I play Gibson 335 and I play a Fender Stratocaster, and I've got a good relationship with people in both of those companies, you know, and if I need help or I need deals, I can get them. My amplifiers right now are Mesa Boogie and Rivera, and I've got deals with both of those companies. And you know, but I'm like I say, I'm old school. I can use a Fender Twin and a Strat, and I'm happy. You know, I'm not. I am kind of a gear freak in a sense. I mean, I was about to say I'm not, but I'm sitting here in my little studio and I'm surrounded by my toys. And you know, I was just at the store yesterday buying the latest version of a big sample library and a new keyboard controller and different stuff for writing. You know, and but very basic my rig. And like I say, I don't consider myself a guitar hero or anything. You know, I also play flamenco guitar, and yeah.
What guitar are you playing in the way of acoustic? What's your choice?
Well, I'm playing I've got a Taylor steel string acoustic. I've got a Takamine Takamine gave me some guitars. I've got I had an endorsement with Larrivee guitars, with Music Man guitars, with Parker guitars as well, and you know, I play in flamenco world. I play a Conde Hermanos guitar and a Alhambra guitar. I've got Gibson acoustic guitars. I've got, you know, Line 6 is you know, I've got deals with Line 6 stuff. So yeah, it's a plethora of gear stuff. You know, the drag is, and I tell people all the time, you know, where were the companies when I was coming up and I couldn't afford a guitar? You know? Right. But you know, that's the way it goes, and I've been able to help some other up and coming kids, you know, with their gear needs.
Cool. Let's take the last 2.5 minutes here, and let's talk about what Jerry Lopez feels the state of the music business with the advent of Spotify and Pandora and the companies that are stealing money from the musicians. How do you feel? How do you feel about that? And what do you feel the music business is at today's date?
Right. Well, you know what? I because of YouTube and because of all the stuff that's on the internet, I see some amazing musicianship. I see some kids that are just burning. And years ago, I would have told you something completely different and said, you know what, live music is dying, and the music industry has dumbed down the music so bad that there aren't really musicians coming up. But that's not right.
Right.
There really are some amazing young musicians out there, and you know the industry has completely changed. The CD and record sales or whatever were what funded the music. Nowadays, it's really the live performance, and so and so you know, I mean, it is what it is, and I think for those that are young out there and that are coming up. The thing is to figure out this whole thing with social networking. The whole thing is to figure out how to get your music to as many people as you can and get kind of guerrilla warfare about the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Find a way to find your niche and how to make it happen and make it work for you. You know?
And speaking of finding Jerry, once again, let's touch on this itself. How do we get a hold of Jerry Lopez, Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns? Share your website again, please.
www.santafeband.com. And you can reach me at jerry@jerry-lopez.com. That's my website is www.jerry-lopez.com.
And also, too, on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm easy to find. I'm really easy to find. I'm very accessible. And, you know,
perfect.
I just want to tell any of the young people out there, if there's someone that is your hero, someone that you idolize, someone that you feel that has what you want, go find them. Go chase them.
That's it.
I mean, that's exactly what I did. I made a pest of myself. I mean, if I told you the stories of some of the things that I did to get close to my heroes, you'd laugh. And
I'm right there with you.
But I did it, and they became my best friends, and I ended up playing and recording and touring with some of these people. So.
All right, brother, we're all out of time. I hate to cut you off, man, but once again, everybody, Jerry Lopez and Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, this is Jackie Bertoni. You've tuned into Jackie's Groove every Monday at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Please check us out, and please, if you like it, let us hear your feedback. As I always say, peace through music.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Progressive Medical.
Hey, this is Heidi Rue, and you know, Progressive Medical Center has literally changed my life and my health, but I'm not the only one. Adele suffered from bone deterioration, bone overgrowth, profound muscle discomfort, physical exhaustion, and mental fog. In fact, the bone deterioration becomes so serious that she had to have back surgery. Well, after the surgery, she still didn't feel well, and so that's when she heard about Progressive Medical Center. Progressive Medical Center discovered that her adrenals weren't working properly, her hormones were out of whack, and the drugs she'd been taking were doing more harm than good. Adele came into Progressive Medical Center in a walker, physically and mentally exhausted. But now she's a world traveler. She hikes and walks several miles a day, and it's all thanks to Progressive Medical Center. 770-676-6000. 770-676-6000.
Progressive Medical. This is your life. Live it well.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.